Daniel here. So today we are going to be reviewing this book, Learn Microsoft Azure, Build, Manage, and Scale Cloud Applications Using the Azure Ecosystem from the Packet Book Collection. So basically, I've been learning about Microsoft Azure. Personally, I am developing a new project and we will be using the Azure Cloud. So for me, it's an interesting book to start learning everything about this cloud. I'm mostly familiarized with AWS, but I think Azure has a lot of stuff that you can also use to implement a multi-cloud system. For example, if you want to use multi-clouds. So this book covers a lot of things on the basic stuff for learning Microsoft Azure. So it has 9 chapters. So each chapter covers the first chapter covers the Azure 101, so all the essential aspects to understand the Microsoft clouds. So it's the Microsoft overview of Azure, the evolution of cloud computing, Azure as a cloud platform, cloud deployment models, Azure regions, the Azure subscriptions, the cloud services, how's the portal experience, and signing up for the subscription of Azure, and a little understanding of the portal, the resources, the key points, the CLA, the PowerShell, and other stuff regarding the first introduction with Azure. The next chapter covers a little bit about all the storage that the Microsoft Azure uses. So the storage on Azure, the different types of storages, durability, performance, persistency, the storage accounts or general purpose, the accounts of B1 or B2, creating the Azure storage accounts and all the relation stuff regarding the storage services. The table storage, the queue storage, file storage, front-end layer, version layer, stream layers, sparse and trim in Azure, and obviously a summary of the chapter. The third chapter it's getting familiarized with all the Azure virtual networks, so all the VNets. So what are the Azure VNets? How do we use the Azure VNets? The creation of this, the adding subnets, public IPs, NICs, Azure Service Endpoints, etc. Then it covers the Azure virtual machines, so everything regarding the VM statuses, VM service legal agreement, level agreements, VM services, creating Azure virtual machines, all the storage on the virtual machines, how do you manage and unmanage the disk on the virtual machines, adding inbound and outbound rules, adding an additional network interfaces, configuring the NICs, and all the consideration for the VMs. Then it covers the basic of the development of web apps on Azure, so everything with the services plan, how the environments on Azure works, different types of environment for services, how do you create the app services environments, creating all the thing that you are going to be using on the environment for creation of the apps that you are going to be creating. Then it covers the managing of the Azure apps. So how do you deploy the slots, the development of the slots key points, application settings, the scaling up, the scaling outs, the service backups, and all the backups of the key points. Then the next chapter covers basic of Azure SQL databases. So all the architecture of the databases on SQL that covers Azure. So the introduction to SQL databases in Azure, the SQL database IaaS and PaaS, all the Azure SQL databases, SQLs on the virtual machines, the different type of databases on SQL, Elastic database pools, single databases, SQL databases, services tier, all the creation of the SQL databases and the connection with the Azure, the server level, and connecting the SQL databases with SQL SSMS. The next chapter covers the Microsoft Azure SQL databases. Now the service that the Microsoft Azure has for the SQL databases. So the Elastic databases pools, the benefits of using Elastic databases pools, the creation of Elastic databases pool, adding databases to Elastic pools, setting up the Azure directory for authentication, Azure SQL database businesses, how do you manage the instances, how do you manage the different type of instance key points from Azure SQL. And finally, we have a chapter to understand all the Azure Active Directory, so all the Azure AD benefits, AD flavors, working with Azure AD, the users, the password, the all the like the infrastructure for the user, working with groups in Azure AD, Azure AD common task, self-service password, and sign-in devices, multi-factor authentication. It's like the equivalent for the IAM from AWS, so all regarding the users on the cloud of Azure. Then it comes the monitoring and automation Azure service with OMS. So what does the OMS terminology means? A little introduction of the Azure logs and analytics, onboarding agents, the workspace, the agents, the automation flows and the runbook types of Azure, and how the hybrid integration work with the runbooks. Then it comes the data protection and business continuity with the OMS, so all the recovery services for Azure, the backups, site recoveries, backup plans, recoveries for virtual machines, site recoveries, infrastructure, and even replication. One thing which is interesting of this book is all the assessment that have on each chapter. So once you are reading the book, you are getting familiarized with all this terminology and all these things that are on Azure. So you will have the opportunity to understand a little bit uh, on practical assessments of the things that you will be working on. So basically, I mean, if you are new to, like myself, which is you're new to the Azure cloud, I think this book is very, very interesting because it will help you to get familiarized with all the aspect that has this cloud. No? So let me know in the comments what do you think about this book if you have the opportunity to read it. I will leave the link here so you can buy the book on Amazon. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to continue reviewing books for development and software developers. Thank you guys. Until next one.